The green giant stumbles. John Deere announces layoffs. John Deere, the iconic American tractor company, ain't doing so hot. They're laying off workers. A lot of them. See, Deere's been hit by a double whammy. Folks ain't buying as many tractors, and the economy's in the crapper. This ain't just bad news for the folks losing their jobs. It's bad news for whole towns that rely on Deere. We're talking about places like Moline, Illinois, and Waterloo, Iowa, the heartland of America. Places where a good paying job at Deere used to mean something. Now Deere's saying they gotta do this to optimize costs and remain competitive, but it sure seems like they're doing just fine for themselves. Their CEO's still raking in millions, while workers are wondering how they're gonna put food on the table. So what's going on here? Is Deere really hurting, or are they just trying to squeeze every last penny out of their workers? Let's take a closer look. Assembly lines fall silent. Production workers bear the brunt. The layoffs are hitting Deere's production workers the hardest. We're talking about the folks on the assembly lines putting those tractors together. In places like East Moline, Illinois, over 200 jobs are getting axed. And it ain't just Illinois. Iowa, home to several Deere factories, is getting slammed too. Waterloo, Dubuque, Ankeny, hundreds of jobs vanishing in each place. These are good paying union jobs, the kind that built the middle class. And now they're gone, just like that. It's enough to make you sick. Deere says these cuts are difficult but necessary, but tell that to the single mom working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Tell that to the family that's about to lose their home. It's a damn shame is what it is. Suits, feel the pinch. Salaried positions also cut. It ain't just the folks on the factory floor feeling the pain. Deere's also cutting salaried positions, the office folks. We don't know exactly how many suits are getting the axe, but it's safe to say it ain't pretty. These are engineers, accountants, HR people, folks with college degrees and mortgages. They're used to a certain lifestyle, and now that's all getting turned upside down. Deere says these cuts are about streamlining operations and improving efficiency, but it sure seems like they're just trying to cut costs wherever they can, regardless of who gets hurt. Look, I get it. Business is business, and sometimes you got to make tough decisions, but it just feels wrong that Deere's CEO is making over $20 million a year while laying off thousands of workers. Something ain't right about that. Section 4, a perfect storm. Declining sales and economic headwinds. So why is John Deere laying off all these workers? Well, it's a combination of factors. First, sales of agricultural equipment are down. Farmers ain't buying as many tractors and combines as they used to. Why? Well, for one thing, crop prices are down. Corn, soybeans, wheat, they're all cheaper than they were a few years ago. That means farmers are making less money, so they ain't got as much cash to spend on new equipment. On top of that, the global economy is looking pretty shaky. China's slowing down, Europe's a mess, and interest rates are rising. All of this uncertainty makes businesses hesitant to invest in new equipment, which hurts Deere's bottom line. So yeah, it's a perfect storm, and unfortunately it's the workers who are getting soaked. Section 5, Uncertain Harvest. The road ahead for John Deere and its workers. What does the future hold for John Deere and its workers? It's hard to say for sure. Some experts say the agricultural equipment market will rebound in the next few years. Others are more pessimistic, predicting a prolonged slump. One thing's for sure, John Deere ain't gonna stop looking for ways to cut costs and boost profits. They're already shifting some production to Mexico where labor is cheaper, and they're investing heavily in automation, which means fewer jobs for human workers. So what can be done? Well, some folks are calling for the government to step in and provide assistance to laid off workers. Others are demanding that Deere do more to protect its workers and keep jobs in America. You know, one thing's for sure, this ain't just a problem for John Deere. It's a problem for the entire country. When good paying middle class jobs disappear, it hurts everyone. We need to find a way to bring those jobs back and rebuild the American dream.